Hey guys, it's your girl Lashes Tony XO. Okay, so I am in my filming room right now, and I have this really cute mug that one of my kids got me Christmas, Mother's Day or something, but it says Magical Mom. Can you see that? Magical Mom, so cute. So I thought we would do a really chill declutter video. So if you didn't know, I am actually moving I'm supposed to be moving into our new house by August, so I'm really excited. So we got the keys July 15th, and we signed papers and everything, so we're really excited about the house. And basically I am trying to go through all my stuff. You guys know how much stuff I have, so I'm gonna start a declutter series, and then you will see my I've already filmed a empty house tour. So if you guys are interested in declutter videos, vlogs, like decorating and house tours and things like that, make sure to subscribe to my channel because they will be coming up. I have a lot to show you guys and share with you guys, and I'm really excited about this new journey, this new chapter in my life. So if you want to see what I decide to declutter, then just keep watching. Alright, so let me just start going through. Okay, so this palette right here is ColourPop, and this is the High Tide palette. It's one of my newer palettes. I got it for my birthday from my son Benjamin, and it's really pretty. It's got like teals and blues and stuff like that, which I normally don't wear, but something about this palette really inspires me. So I'm gonna swatch a couple. I haven't even swatched this palette. This is what it looks like. So pretty. I'm not going to be able to do every single palette, obviously, but I thought, you know, I might swatch a few since this is newer, and I don't think you've seen any looks or anything from me. So this is so pretty. So these have shimmers and mattes. Oh my gosh, that is gorgeous. Look at those colors. Oh wow. Okay. Those are so pretty. So this is definite keep. Definitely need to put this where I can get to it. So we're going to put the keep over here, and I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the box. Sometimes I keep boxes and sometimes I don't, but I feel like when I do keep the boxes that I don't ever feel like getting them out of the boxes, if that makes sense. So we're just going to stick the box up here because it's going to bother me. Okay, so that's that. Alright, let's go to another palette. Let's see. Okay, this is the Too Faced Peanut Butter palette, Peanut Butter and Jelly palette. This used to be one of my favorite palettes in my collection, like when I first started YouTube. Do you guys remember that? I'm sure I have some old videos because I don't delete videos usually, but so this is pretty old. I don't mind having old palettes, you know, like for years and years and years, but I honestly don't use this palette. So I think this is a palette I would be happy to give to someone else that would use it, because honestly, if you look in the palette, I mean, there's only a dent in the top color, which is the Peanut Butter Cup. There's a dent in that and a little bit of a dent in Peanut Butter, but that's it. So yeah, I'm gonna pass this on. So this will be going into my declutter. I'm just gonna put it in this one for the moment. So right now we're 1 for 1. Okay, so let's see. Alright, so this is a fairly new palette as well. This is from Too Faced. This is the Born This Way, the neutral Nudes palette. This is what it looks like. Really, really pretty palette. I had my eye on this palette for a very, very long time before I bit the bullet on it. But I have to say I'm very happy with it. And I love that it kind of does all the work for you. Like basically, you have mattes and shimmers. So let's say you want to do a gold look. You have a very easy matte and shimmer right there. And it's just super easy. Like this is like a no-brainer palette. Like no brainer. I should actually take this palette to the beach because I could do a lot of looks with this. This definitely would be great for the beach because you could do like, you could smoke it out, you could make it really simple, but this definitely is a palette I love in my collection and I'm keeping. So that makes 2. I'm gonna have like swatches all over me that won't come off. Okay, let's see. Let me think about this, guys. This is hard. I'm really bad about getting rid of things, if you didn't know. Okay, so this palette right here is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. This is like a classic, you guys. I'm sure you know. And I've held on to mine for a long, long time. This palette never really did it for me like it did everybody else. It probably doesn't even look that touched, honestly. I can't say that I really did a lot with this palette. I know I did a dupe video like when I first started my channel, and I duped this with a Makeup Revolution because Makeup Revolution had just came out and it was like all the rage. But I am definitely going to get rid of this one. I'm going to see if my daughter-in-law wants, she's going to have first choice of any of these palettes that I declutter. And if she doesn't want them, then I'll see, you know, other family members will want them. So this is one of my first ever palettes, you guys. This was like, this has kind of sentimental value. But it's the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette. And I used to be really, when I first started into makeup, I was really into cool tones. And I've always been into shimmers. So this palette called to me, and this was like the first palette I ever purchased. As far as high-end, I'm sure I purchased drugstore palettes, I just don't remember those. And I definitely don't have those in my collection, but I am going to go ahead and, I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this palette. Yeah, I think I'm going to get rid of it. So we're going to declutter that palette as well. This is new to my collection. This is the Sigma Ambiance palette. Again, in packaging. Usually if it's in packaging, it's new. And I just love the packaging so much. I think it's pretty and I'm like, I don't want to throw the packaging away. But honestly, like I said, when I don't throw the packaging away, I don't end up using the product that much. So I need to start throwing away the boxes. Here's the palette. I really think it's pretty. It's got like a gold shimmer to it. It shows you the names on the back of the packaging, which I think is pretty awesome. It also has a double-ended brush. The brush is amazing. This is one of my new favorite palettes right here. It just has really, really beautiful colors to it. So definitely going to keep this. They're very, very pigmented and very creamy. Very creamy. So I'll swatch a couple, guys. I'm not going to, probably won't swatch every palette I have, but you can see how pigmented those shadows are. So this is definitely a keeper in my collection. I only have 2 Sigma palettes, and this one is my newest one, and I will be keeping it. So another newer palette in my collection. This one is the Tartelette, the Tarte Tartelette Juicy palette. That's a mouthful. Really pretty packaging. It's very reflective. You can see my camera stand. It's very reflective. It's pink. I don't know, it's really, really pretty. This is what I would call like the perfect wedding makeup palette. It's so pretty. I love that it has a giant mirror, and the mirror actually, you can prop it however you want to prop it. So it's great if you're like doing a lot of people's makeup in a wedding party or whatever, and it smells, oh my gosh, this palette smells like cocoa. It smells so, so good. So, there's just some really soft, feminine colors in here that I think would be beautiful, beautiful, for a wedding. So there's just really, really pretty colors. So very, very beautiful colors. Very soft. You can also, obviously there's darker shades that you could totally smoke it out, make it darker, but I just think this is a gorgeous, gorgeous palette. So I'm definitely keeping that. Okay. Let's see, what do I not use? Okay, okay, so this is my Natasha Denona palette, the Glam palette. It looks like this. I told you guys when I purchased this palette, I thought it was great for beginners. If you're looking for a palette for beginners, this one I highly, highly recommend, because number one, it's going to be a really good investment. It's $65, but you get so many gorgeous colors in the palette. Also, it tells you exactly how to use the colors. And also, she made it to where, like, let's say you have dark skin, or let's say you have fair skin and you want to switch out the colors. You can pop them out from the back and switch the colors around to how you want the palette to go. So for instance, if you want the one that says center eyelid, if you don't want this shade, you can change it and put a different shade in it. So I really think this is a great starter investment palette. If you're looking for a first palette, or maybe you just want one palette in your collection, I highly recommend this one. The quality is freaking amazing. I mean, honestly, this is one of the best quality palettes I feel like that I have. This is definitely this is definitely one of the top palettes. If I could only pick 10 palettes, this would be in there. And I don't usually go for cool tones, but I mean, it's a gorgeous palette, you know. Just very, 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 like, you can smoke them out. Some shimmers, but you can totally smoke it out. You can make it really look, I mean, when Tiffany Dawn came to visit, this is the palette I wore when we went out. So I did a lot of smoky looks, and I also wore it during the day and did day looks. So highly recommend this palette. So I'm keeping that for sure. Daughter-in-law gave me this palette. She gets, I think she still gets BoxyCharm, I'm not sure, but she at the time got BoxyCharm, and this is by, I think you pronounce it Ace Boutte Vintage Dawn is the name of the palette. Looks like that. And she doesn't wear colors like this, and so she gave it to me. This is a very colorful palette. Very colorful palette. And I don't own like something this poppy as far as like just how intense these colors are. I mean, wow. I'm gonna swatch a few of these. If you have this palette, you know what I'm talking about, but she doesn't go for these types of looks. And I mean, with the YouTube channel, it's kind of fun sometimes to do looks like this. So I was like, yes, I will definitely take this palette. So here's some of the, I mean, it's super pigmented palette. So I'm going to keep this. I think it'll be fun to do some looks with this palette. Now, I honestly didn't even know, like, it was at the bottom of my, I have so many palettes that it was at the bottom. So I need to move some of my palettes around. That's why I need to declutter, because I want to be able to see my palettes and enjoy my palettes. And it's hard to find them when you have palettes on top of palettes that you don't even use, you know. So, okay, the next palette we're going to talk about. Alright, so this is the Tarte, like, what is it? Like the Rainforest of the Sea palette. I got my new glasses in, so let me get this on. Let me get my new glasses on. Yeah, I can see. Hello. Alright, so this is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Volume 2. I can read, hallelujah. Alright, so yeah, this one came in a BoxyCharm, I think. It came in a BoxyCharm. It came in something, I'm not really sure. It came in something, I know. I'm gonna swatch these colors. These are very, very pigmented colors. Wow. Okay. Very pigmented. As you can see, like, I haven't used this palette. Like, it looks practically brand new, honestly. I did just swatch on the back of my hand. So they're very pigmented, but I don't use this palette. So I am going to see if my daughter-in-law wants this palette, because she does like neutrals. Or maybe my cousin or somebody. So I'm going to declutter this palette, because like I said, I don't use it, and it's stupid for me to keep palettes that I don't use. So I'm decluttering that one. This palette, try to move up as I go, I guess. Alright, so this palette is the, first of all, it gets really dirty. This is one of those palettes that get really, you can see like makeup and stuff on it, and I don't know if you can tell, but it's dirty. And it hasn't been used that much. So this is the KKW Beauty palette, and this one is called the Classic Blossom palette. This is another beautiful palette, like for a wedding or something like that. Really pretty colors. So I got this when they were doing the 21 days of beauty sale, I think. Probably last year, maybe. And yeah, the colors are really, ooh, that is really pretty. That is actually really pretty. These are very, very soft colors. Let's see, I'm trying to like find a finger to swatch. Very, very soft colors. Alright, so I don't know if you can see all the pretty, can you even see that? It's a weird swatch. But yeah, really pretty. I'm gonna keep this palette. So this is the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette. Pretty old palette, right? I think I did a giveaway with this. I bought me one and gave like a few away. I do like any color with gold in it, but I have tons of gold shadows. This is just not a palette that I use 100%. I just do not use this palette. I'm like trying to look and say like, would I? But honestly, I just wouldn't. I don't use this palette. I did when I first got it. I thought it was really beautiful. But I don't use it anymore, so I'm going to declutter this one as well. So, alright, let's see. One I'm going to keep is this palette. This has always been like a tried and true for me. I love this palette. It is the Tarte Tartelette Toasted palette, and I love this one. I don't know what it is about this palette, but, well, probably because it's got really beautiful warm colors to it. It just reminds me of fall. It has that same smell as the Juicy one, the Tartelette Juicy palette. It has that cocoa smell. But these colors just scream like a cozy sweater and fall to me. So I love the color Latte in here. It's just a really good crease color if you're looking for a good crease color. And I mean, a lot of people complain about the shimmers, but I mean, I honestly can't complain. I think they're really pretty. They're a little chunky, but I don't mind that. So I'm gonna keep it. I think it's one of my favorites. So I am keeping that palette as well. Okay. And if you hear my stomach growling, sorry. Alright, so this palette is the Makeup Revolution Death by Chocolate eyeshadow palette. And I think I did a giveaway for this as well when I first started my channel. And I did like a dupe video type thing. Let's watch. Okay. I mean, these are really pigmented and pretty, but honestly, I just don't grab this palette anymore. So, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I am going to, let me show you, I didn't show you the colors. I am going to declutter this palette as well. So here we go. We're actually starting to get rid of a lot of palettes over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to empty the ones that we're getting rid of, and I'm going to put them over here just to get them out of the way. We might have to do a two-parter because this video is going to be long. Because like I said, I have another drawer full of palettes, guys. Okay, so far, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that I'm getting rid of. Okay. These are new, obviously. They're still in the packaging. I told you when they're new, I don't like to take them out of the packaging. Are y'all all the same way? But I don't know, I just don't. This is the Natasha Denona Mini Gold Palette. Looks like that. And of course, it's in the box, which I need to take it out. Like I said, I feel like if I don't take them out of the box, I don't use them. Even if they're new, they're just too pretty to use. So this is what the gold one looks like. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. Oh my goodness. So pretty. Love. Oh my gosh, this color right here, I need to swatch it. It's so pretty. I need to swatch it. That green is talking to me. That gold is talking to me. Wow, that's so pretty. Look at those colors. Oh, they're so pretty. Okay, love that. Definitely keeping that. Definitely keeping that bad boy. Alright, and then also got this new palette. This is the Natasha Denona Mini Zendo palette. And it has like a lot of pinks and it has a green as well. This is the new palette. I've actually used this one, but looks like this. I think I accidentally stuck my finger in it. There's like a dent in that purple, and I haven't used that purple that much, so really beautiful colors. I am definitely keeping this palette. Just purchased it, guys. Keeping that. Let's go ahead and finish talking about a lot of the Natasha Denona palettes. Okay, so this one is the Natasha Denona Mini Nude palette, and mine broke. Of course it did. Gotta clean it up a little bit. So this is what it looks like. The top one was cracked when I got it, so still beautiful colors. I still like it. So but this one is the Mini Nude, and I'm definitely keeping that. This is the Maybelline Nudes of New York palette. I actually really like this palette. It's probably one of the only... No, that's a lie. That is a total lie, because you guys know, like, this is like my holy grail drugstore palette right here, but I'll go into that in a minute. This is probably my second favorite Drugstore palette, honestly. I really do love these colors. They're very easy to blend. A lot of pretty neutrals in here. It's just a really easy palette, and yeah, I like it. So it's like $10. You can do a very smoky look. You can do more neutrals. There's warm tones. There's some cool tones in here. I just really like it. Maybelline Nudes of New York. So, keeping that one. Also, you guys know I'm keeping this. This is like, if I could only have 10 eyeshadow palettes, this would be in my top 10. Do you guys want to see that? Like, I could do like each category. If I could only have 5 eyeshadow palettes or 5 lipsticks, like what would I pick? This would be in my top, even my top 3. This would be my top 3. Honestly. I think I'm going to do a video like that. If you want to see it, let me know in the comments. This is, of course, I mean, the writing is off of it. That's how much this has been. This is probably my most used palette, my most loved palette, honestly, is this one. This is the one that I always use. So this is the e.l.f. Retro Paradise palette. It's an 18 eyeshadow palette, and I did a video on it. I'm sure you've seen it. If you haven't, I will link it. Now, some of the glitters are chunky, but the colors in here are so fall and so gorgeous that this is so worth the money for me. They're such beautiful colors. You can get, I mean, a gorgeous, like, soft, look at those colors right there. Soft green, soft purple. But then you can also glam it up with these glitters, these shimmers, all these gorgeous mattes. I just love this palette. It's one of, I could never part with this palette. So, definite keeper. Alright, so let's talk about this palette. This is the Too Faced Peanut Butter Honey palette. I remember when this was one of the palettes I really used to love, because I mean, obviously this one doesn't look like it's been used that much, but I really like the color in here called Honey Buns. It was the yellow color in here. But I'm going to declutter it. I'm ready to let go of this palette. So we're going to declutter that palette. Alright, so I am going to, I think my camera overheated when I was talking about this one, but this is the Natasha Denona Mini Glam palette, and I'm actually going to take this one to the beach with me. So I am obviously keeping this. This is a gorgeous palette. Really, really pretty. I have worn several looks from this palette recently, so I am definitely keeping her. She's so pretty. Okay. Let's look at Going Coconuts. Okay, so this is Going Coconuts by ColourPop, and this is a cool tone eyeshadow palette. Looks like that. Really pretty colors. I'm going to swatch these and figure out if I want to keep it or if I want to let it go. Wow, that's pretty. I haven't used this palette in a while, and I'm like, okay, this is so pretty. Why haven't I been using this palette? I honestly don't know. Okay, this is a gorgeous palette. I'm definitely keeping it. I am so keeping this palette. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Alright, love that palette. Definitely need to use that more in my life. Okay, let's see. This is the Makeup Revolution, the Emily Edits, the Needs palette. I think I'm going to declutter this. Let's look at it. Yeah, I'm definitely going to declutter this. I didn't really use it that much. I think I did a video on it, like a first impression, but it's not something that I pull these days. So I've had it for a long time. I am going to give it to someone who would enjoy it better And yeah, we're gonna declutter that. Okay, let's look at these Natasha Denona palettes. Alright, so this one is my bronze palette. This one is so pretty. If you guys know me at all, I love warm tones. I love shimmers. So, of course, I cannot get rid of this palette. It is too pretty to get rid of. And, of course, when you have so many palettes, I mean, I'm not saying that, like, it's a bad thing. It's just, you just don't appreciate your palettes. And you don't give them enough love. And they just sit there. But this is such a pretty palette. So, I am keeping her. And hopefully, when I get more space in my new house, because I have a huge beauty room, I will be able to find what I want and be able to play with what I want. Okay, I'm also going to keep this palette. This is Natasha Denona as well, but this is her Sunrise palette. I think this was maybe the first Natasha Denona palette I ever purchased. It was either this one or this one. This is her other palette. This is not the mini. I'll show you the mini size. So, she has 4 different sizes. She has one larger than this. That's a, what, $100 and some. Then this one is $65. This one, I think, is $45. And then the minis are $25. So, so this one is the Sunrise palette. And, let's see. Honestly, this is probably my least used Natasha Denona palette. This is honestly my least used. I mean, I don't know why, because they're really beautiful colors in here. Like, really, really pretty. Like, when I swatch it, it looks like summer to me. I mean, look at those colors. So pretty. So I need to pull this into rotation in my Shop My Stash when I come back from the beach or something, because these colors are so pretty. Alright, love that. Keeping that. This Natasha Denona palette is the Coral palette. It's a 5-pan Natasha Denona Coral. So, this one, as soon as I got it in the mail, I dropped it and broke it. And all of them came out, and 2 of them broke. And yeah, this palette is okay. I feel like it's not as pigmented as most of her. I mean, they're pigmented. They're just, I don't know. It's just not a palette that I grab. I mean, look, they are pigmented, so it's just not a palette I grab that much, but I mean, I'm not going to get rid of it because I do love my Natasha Denona palettes. And I'm happy with the collection that I have, so I'm not going to get rid of that. This right here is the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. Smells just like peaches, obviously. I love the way this smells. I haven't worn this palette in a really long time. I love peach colors. They're really pretty, but I just never grab for this palette. That is a really, really pretty color. My stomach's growling if you hear it. Do you hear my stomach growling? I think I'm going to declutter this. I mean, I love that it smells like peaches, and I love the color Candied Peach. I love the peach color in it, but to keep this giant palette for one shade, I don't think I want to, so I'm going to declutter. I'm going to declutter her, so maybe my daughter-in-law might want that palette. I'm not sure. Alright, so let's talk about keeps. So these are my Rare Beauty palettes, which I am obsessed with. I love these palettes so much. I have her, this one is called Confident Energy. And then I have this one that is called Magnetic Spirit. Magnetic Spirit. Okay, so I'll show you the colors. They're only shimmers. There's no mattes in here. So I think that's what like really drew me in, because I love shimmers. So basically, if I just put like a bronzer in the crease and just popped any of these shimmers on the lid, I would be good to go. So this one has really pretty fun colors in here. And then this one is the one I use the most. You can see. So I'm keeping both of these palettes. They're gorgeous and I love them. So I have not tried her new one, but I'm sure if they're anything like that palette, I would probably be obsessed. Okay. Let me think here. Alright, so these two palettes, these are the Milani palettes. So let's think about this. Okay, so I have the Milani Bold Obsessions palette. This one is, it has a lot of, not a lot, it has a few shimmers and some fun colors in there. And then this one is the Milani Soft and Sultry palette. And this one is a very cool tone palette. Basically like the Natasha Denona palette. Since I have the Natasha Denona Glam palette, I don't feel like I need this palette at all. And I think I know somebody that would give a good home to especially this one. So I am going to declutter both of these. Okay, let's see. I'm going to keep this palette. This is my little Pat McGrath palette. I don't have a big Pat McGrath palette, but her shimmers in this, I mean, I hate the packaging. It's really cheap and plastic, but, and the little pans are the tiniest things ever, but they're very creamy and beautiful. And yeah, they're so pretty. So I'm gonna keep these. Maybe one day I will get a big palette, but I am content with that little one. I'm definitely gonna keep her. Alright, so I'm going to declutter this palette. This is the Balm palette. So this is it says Day to Night Auto Balm palette. Looks like this. It looks like, it's supposed to look like a little tag, like a car. What am I trying to say? You guys know what I'm trying to say. I'm going to get a drink. Where's my drink? Oh. I'm so thirsty. Anyway, Tiffany Dawn sent me this way, like several years ago. So I just don't ever use this palette though. It's not really colors that I gravitate to. It's just like a little mini palette like that. So I'm going to declutter that one as well. Okay, let's move things around. Alright, here's my other Sigma. This is obviously one of their newer palettes as well. This is the Sigma Hazy palette. And I got it because it has a lot of like fun purpley pinks. And I honestly haven't even used this palette yet. So I plan on it. I just haven't done it. I just have so many that I haven't. So this has some really glittery shadows and then some mattes. So yeah, I'm gonna keep that one for sure because it is new to my collection. So I'll show you the colors that I have. I have Rose Water, which looks like that. I have Truffle, or Truffles, sorry, Truffles, which this one is interesting because it's the only one that I know of that has 3 mattes and 1 shimmer. Most of them have, what, 2 and 2? 2 2 shimmers and 2 mattes, and this one only has 1 shimmer. So I feel like this is more of a kind of glammy, kind of nighttime look, because you have your black, what you could use for liner, or you could smoke it out, and you have your transition shade or your crease color. Then you have this pretty shimmer. So I mean, there's a lot of things you could do with that. So I'm gonna keep that one. And then this one is I was gonna say cookies and cream. This is cream and sugar. So that's what that looks like. I'm gonna keep that one. It's really nice basic shimmers. And then this one I think will be great for the fall. This one is the Pumpkin Pie palette, and I just love the name of it. And it's really got, this one is really, really good quality, I feel like. Really, really good quality. Some of the same colors as in my Natasha Denona bronze palette. So, really beautiful colors. So I'm keeping that. Okay. Let's see what else. Okay, so I want to keep this palette. This is the Wander Beauty palette. I think it's the only Wander Beauty palette I have. It's the Wanderous Seascape palette. I think this came in a BoxyCharm as well, or an Ipsy or something. I don't know. I used to get beauty boxes, and I used to get a lot of subscription boxes when I first started my channel, but I do not anymore. I just purchase what makeup I want, so that way I don't get things that I don't want. But I really like the shimmers in this palette and this like crease color. I like that color. The only color I don't use is Coastal, which is the blue, but all the other colors I love, and I think they're really pretty, so I'm gonna keep that palette. Okay, let's move some stuff. Alright, so this palette is nostalgic for me. This is a palette Harrison bought me when I first started my YouTube channel. And it's from Benefit, and it says Groovy Kind of Love on it. And I love that it looks very like kind of vintage, or I don't know, it just vintage, cartoonish, whatever you want to say, kind of like Barbie dollish. And it's in like this, you know, Benefit does a lot of tin packaging and stuff, but this actually can come out, so like I can pull this. It's like a styrofoam thing. I can pull that out and use it to hold. Okay, I don't feel like you can see. I'm gonna have to move. Whoops. I need to pull these palettes up, I guess, so you can see better. Let's move up instead of down. Okay, well, you guys can see now. Alright, can we see? Okay. Alright, so like I was saying about this particular palette, Harrison bought me this like when I first started my YouTube channel, and you can take this out. It's like a styrofoam thing. So if I want to just put jewelry or anything in here, I can always keep this. I don't use, I really don't use these anymore. I mean, the blush right here is just a really soft, like, nude blush. And then there's, like, it's just like a very neutral palette, which I don't ever use. So, the products that I used right away. So, these I don't, but you can also pop these out. They're made where you can actually take these out. So I am going to keep the packaging and probably just get rid of the products inside, because I don't use those, but I'm going to keep that. This will probably not be in my eyeshadow collection. I'll have it like in some other area. Yeah, because I don't really use those colors, but I still want to keep the packaging, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's see. Alright, so this right here is a palette that I've had for years, and I never can get rid of this palette, you guys, because it is such a gorgeous packaging palette, but also the inside of it is just gorgeous. But I never use it. But I want to start using it. It's by Tarte, and it was a collab they did with another YouTuber called, her name was Aspen. I don't know, I think she was from another country, but OVARD. I didn't watch her channel, but I did see a lot of other YouTubers talk about this palette. And it does smell like all Tarte palettes. It smells like cocoa. But it's just it's just so gorgeous. It's like one of the prettiest palettes I've ever seen. I love that it's rose gold. I love that it has like floral. It's pink. It's girly. I wish I pulled for it more. I mean, there's a gorgeous highlight. There's a gorgeous blush. The shadows are beautiful. I need to start pulling this because it really is a beautiful palette. So I need to do that. Okay, so this is a Drugstore palette that I really love that I need to start using as well because I always forget about it, but I really love it. It's the NYX Professional Makeup Away We Glow palette. And I think Tiffany Dawn sent me this. Pretty sure she did. Somebody sent me this. I'm pretty sure it was Tiffany Dawn, but maybe, I mean, I've had a lot of subscribers and friends send me stuff, so sometimes I get confused on who sent what. So sorry if you sent me this palette and I don't remember. But I love it, and I'm keeping it mainly because of this this green right here is just so pretty. Look at the green. It's so pretty. There's like this pastel pink in here. It's just, I don't know, it's just a very soft color. So I'm going to keep that. And that's my AC that just kicked on. So sorry about that. I'm keeping that. Okay. This is new to my collection, or newer. And okay, guys, so I think this is probably going to have to be a two-parter maybe. I'm not really sure if we're going to get... This is my other palettes right here. And then I also have face palettes, and that's going to be a totally different experience because I have tons and tons of face palettes. But I still have a whole thing of eyeshadow palettes in here that I haven't even went through yet. So I don't know if we're going to get through those today. But let's go ahead and finish these. So this is the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes. I'm keeping this because I did declutter the Too Faced, the Peach Perfect palette. I don't know what it was called. The original peach palette. So these are just mattes, but I just really love these colors. Has a little bit of a peach smell, but I'm going to keep that one. I'm also going to keep this palette. This is the Profusion Wanderlust palette. A really nice drugstore palette. This is like, I don't know, I think I got it between $10, $15. And you get all these gorgeous shadows. So you can do a lot of fun looks with this. Really good quality. Profusion has really good brushes and shadows, so I'll keep that. I'm going to get rid of both of these Kylie palettes. So I have both of these palettes. These are like her older palettes, obviously. So this one is the Burgundy palette, and I'm going to get rid of this one. So this is going into Declutter. I'm also getting rid of this one, and this is the Bronze palette. Looks like that. Looks very fallish. I thought about keeping it because it does kind of look fallish, but my e.l.f. palette that I'm obsessed with is more pigmented than this. I'm getting rid of this. So, alright, so we got rid of those. Let's see what else do I want to get rid of. I want to get rid of this palette. This is a limited edition Wet n Wild palette. This is when they did that Rose collection. This is the House of Thorns, and this one right here has no no color payoff really. It's not very pigmented at all. It's just a 4-pan palette, and this is my least favorite one out of the collection. We'll get rid of that one. I'm also going to get rid of this. This is a MAC little mini palette that somebody gave me. I think it was Heather. But I don't use these colors. The name of the palette is Age Ain't Nothing. I'm not really sure who they collabed with, but this is what the little mini palette looks like. Not really colors that I personally use, so I'm going to declutter this palette as well. I'm going to declutter this palette. This is the ColourPop Element of Surprise palette. So it looks like this, and when you open it, it has some fun shades, but I'm going to get rid of that as well. Okay, and I am obviously going to keep this palette. This is the e.l.f. and Chipotle palette. It was limited edition, so you can't get it anymore. Hopefully they'll bring it back. It's a really nice pigmented fun palette, so I'm going to keep that one as well. I think this is an awesome drugstore palette. This is the LA Girl Get, what does it say? Get Feverish. And I really love this palette. I think it's really pretty. It has some really nice colors. I don't pull it as much as I should. So I was thinking, like, do I really want to keep it? Do I really want to keep it? I kind of do. Yeah, we're going to keep her. Alright, so what else? Okay, these two Makeup Revolution palettes right here, I got around Halloween a couple years ago. Never been open. Never been open. So this one is the Makeup Revolution Give Them Darkness palette. Never been open. I thought about doing like a little giveaway. Somebody wanted them because they've never been open. This one is the Makeup Revolution, the Dead or Alive palette. Comes with a brush and everything. But I think I'm just going to declutter them and see if someone in my family wants these. So we'll declutter those. Okay, so now we're down to these. Alright, so, okay. I keep getting cut off. It's starting to piss me off. So, alright. Okay, here we go. Few left. We're almost done. Alright, so this is one of my first ever palettes. Makeup Forever used to be my jam. I made this palette myself. I picked these three colors out. Don't ask me why, but I did. So here are the colors. They're super pigmented. Makeup Forever they're just very, obviously they're makeup artist palettes. They're really, really pigmented, and I have 3. I would like to keep all 3 of these. This, like I said, this is the one I made myself. I'm gonna keep it. There's a hair on it. And these 2 I purchased. This one is the Palette 9 Artist Shadow Palette. And let me show you. This one is all like really fun colors. So I'm going to keep that just because they're so high quality. I just can't get rid of it. And this one is gorgeous as well. And this one is the Palette 9 Art. Wait a minute, am I reading the right one? This one says 9 and this one says 9. Oh, sorry. This one's 1. This one's palette number 1, and this one's palette number 2. So one is like a bright colored palette, and this one is neutrals. So I don't wear either one of these, but they're just so high quality I can't bring myself to get rid of them just yet. Maybe the next declutter I will, but I can't. Alright, so this is the Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics palette. I think I'm going to declutter this palette. I was really into it when I first purchased it, but I don't use it anymore, so I'm going to declutter this one. Okay, this is the Tarte Graveyard Girl Swamp Queen palette. This is what it looks like. You guys remember when she did this? So there's a bronzer, a blush, a highlighter, and some shadows. I think I'm going to pass this on as well. And now we're down to these. I'm going to keep the Milani palette. Just when I want some like fun greens and stuff. So this is the Milani, what is it called? Rich Jade, that's not what it's called. Gilded Jade palette. So I'm going to keep the Gilded Jade palette. And I have a couple of Drugstore palettes. I'm thinking about keeping these. But I have the nude one though. I have the big nude palette. So do I need the mini one? The City mini palettes. I've always loved this palette though. I don't know. Alright, so this is a palette that it says the Serafina Botanicals. This is like a vegan palette. It has blushes and eyeshadows in it. I don't ever use these, so I think I'm going to declutter this as well. Oh, my legs hurt. Feet cramps, leg cramp. And these are, this is the Wet n Wild Bed of Roses palette. I like the shimmers, but I don't really like the mattes in here. But this is limited edition. Then I have the Lemonade. Both of these are Maybelline palettes. I think I really like Maybelline palettes, eyeshadow palettes. So this one is the City mini palette in Rooftop Bronze. And this one is the Maybelline Lemonade Craze palette. I think I'm going to keep both of these. I do like Maybelline eyeshadow palettes. Alright guys, we're just going to do these. We're going to do my second part of my palettes another day. I got this big drawer full, and I think I have some more palettes somewhere else. So we're going to do part 2 palette collection another day. It's getting late. I'm tired. And my battery is dying, and it also keeps getting overheated. So I'm going to declutter the Bed of Roses by Wet n Wild palette. It is limited edition. I'm going to declutter that. And I'm going to keep both of the Maybelline palettes, the Lemonade Craze and the City Mini Bronze, Rooftop Bronze palette. So keep those. So let's see how many we're keeping and how many we're decluttering. I feel like I'm decluttering a lot. So let's count the declutters real quick. Before my phone dies. Before my camera dies. Okay, so let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 palettes. We are decluttering 23 palettes. Yay. Okay. Let's see how many we're keeping. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This doesn't count, but I'll count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh shit, I forgot how many this was. I'll put it up on the screen, okay? How about we do that? Because I just totally forgot. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. I'm counting on the minis. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. I have 40 palettes I am keeping. And what I say, like 20, let's say 30. So probably 30 I'm getting rid of and 40 we're keeping. That's almost half, right? Yeah, that's like half. So, or is that more than half? Anyway, I'm horrible at math, but I think it did an amazing job, and I'll put the numbers on the screen for you guys. Let me know if you like these declutter videos, and I will keep them coming before I move. Also, like I said, I'll have part 2 of my palette declutter coming up probably next week. Yeah, so if you guys like declutter videos, please give me a thumbs up. Totally helps my channel. If you're not subscribed and you like declutters, then please hit that subscribe button and be part of our Lash Stunning family. Alright guys, love you. Bye. See ya.